Hi.
Hello.
You didn't get to do your silly face. I started it before. YouTube kind of picks its own.
If I do it silly long enough, it'll go up.
It'll stick. So today's day 64. And we're going to take a quick tour through some Liberian products. First of all, Jeremy he bought some cow meat or steak at the store and cooked it, and I ate about half of mine, and then I was like, I don't really think I want to eat anymore. He cooked it to like jerky style, so I mean it was cooked, but I still was like, ooh.
It's not the ribeye we're used to. It literally just said cow meat.
Jeremy feels like he's protein deficient and wasting away, so he's not really.
Protein and healthy fats. I feel like we have a good lot of carbs, but that's about it.
Yeah, we don't really have anything, so we feel like we're kind of dwindling. But we're trying to take you through a quick tour of what we got from the store. So Heinz ketchup.
Really expensive.
Very expensive for our oldest daughter. This is kind of a staple for her happiness. So
I bit the bullet.
I brought some from home, which was much cheaper than that.
That was $5.
Like $2. Well, it was a big one.
All right, but that one was $5.
That was $5. So one
USD.
at home was fine.
That's American dollars.
Butter.
Salted. We finally found salted butter.
Is this salted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blue package, salted.
So butter with penne pasta that's like 80 cents. So this can go for 2 meals, or do you just do one?
I normally do 1.5 package, and we ate most of that tonight.
One package or 1.5?
1.5.
Okay. So 1.5 for 5 people. With some butter in a pot. We didn't bring a pot, but we did bring this. Okay, I'm gonna put this stuff up as we give the tour. What's next up?
Cornflakes.
Yeah, generic cornflakes. How much
it's actually $2.25, so
yeah.
pretty
inexpensive. The kids
inexpensive.
really like it.
It's a good snack for them.
It's good snack, breakfast, that kind of stuff.
Crackers.
Yeah, they can
No
have a little more
saltines here.
salt, but they're good for like peanut butter.
Cream crackers. They're pretty good.
They don't really taste like, there's no real cream. This is our paper towel roll.
I found that one tonight. Super huge. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't know why penguins, but penguins are the...
Penguins make you think of cleanliness, I think.
Put that over here.
Fanta.
This is kind of my guilty pleasure, is this big thing of Tang, but the girls are drinking more water now that we have a little Tang too, so
Fanta.
we're okay with that.
Hydration is important.
Fanta's good. Jeremy bought almond milk because they didn't have regular milk. This is more for our coffee, but the kids are doing it. It was $4.75 for this tiny little 32 fluid ounces. So there's that.
It goes a long way though. We don't drink tons of it.
It's more like a coffee thing, but you know.
Yeah.
This is the coffee that Sam and Carrie scored for us the first week. Trying to make sure to give Sam some when he comes over. So we brought our espresso machine. Portable one. Mini crackers, $4.20 for this whole thing.
Not bad.
So
it's like a Ritz step cracker.
Yeah, but $4 for, we could get a whole family size box of Ritz crackers for
like 8.
Yeah. That would last us forever. These are really good. But these are $2.95 for this tiny little bag of chips. But they were really good. Although I don't feel so great right now, so I'm not really sure. Mozzarella cheese. Tiny little bag for $6.75.
That one hurts.
So
if you're a cheese fan.
Our butter is $4. Our pasta is 90 cents, and then the cheese on top is $6.75. So we're still feeding the family for only under $10 overall, right? Maybe. We really like this Lebanese bread. You can pretty much find this anywhere. And this is, how much is this?
I actually don't know.
It's like communion bread.
I'm gonna drink this Fanta since it's here.
You're gonna drink the Fanta? Fanta and Diet Coke. We're keeping as much as possible in the fridge because we have seen a lot of ants, which is just sort of part of it.
Or Ziploc bags. You might want to bring Ziploc bags.
I would definitely bring quart size and gallon size Ziploc bags. I haven't had the need for the sandwich size bags yet.
But don't forget to show your Diet Coke we found.
Diet Coke.
It's $1.10.
Oh dear, $1. Yeah, $1.10 each.
That hurts.
I'm not gonna drink it now. It's too late. So, day 64. So there's a little tour through some of our groceries that we got today.
We bought chicken wings too.
We bought chicken wings. We may want to give that a day or two. I'm a little nervous about this steak.
You're gonna be fine.
I just didn't feel good eating it. I don't really feel good anyway. Kind of feel defeated. So, we had a decent day. School this morning.
Yes.
Jeremy's depressed.
I am.
It's getting worse. Like yesterday, I was like, we were like giggly in our video. We may end up finding some laughs today. But like.
So we went to the home today.
We did. And it's just getting harder for our kids to understand, you know. They did play with, all the kids played together today again, and I had to kind of end their game because it was getting a little violent. Because last time they played this rocks game, where it's like kind of like King of the Mountain, sort of. There's 2 teams, and each of them has a collection of rocks. You're trying to steal the other team's rocks to make your rock pile bigger. So the rocks are on opposite sides of the play area. I mean, just the like kids that are like 7 and up were playing, or 6 and up were playing, it was fine. But when the little kids got involved, I was like, no more rocks. You guys need to play something different, like freeze tag. And like he was like, I don't know how, my middle child was like, I don't know how to get them to freeze. So they probably call it something else. But that was good. That one of the nannies there, Esther, made us this bread that was so good.
It was called, what did they call it?
You can't make it on the stovetop though. It's got to be in an oven.
They called it,
it was so good.
It had butter in it. Like you could just feel the butter in it.
You could.
It's like a sweet bread. I forgot what they called it.
I stopped and got the kids some cookies.
Chocolate chips in it.
I got, I get the kids cookies every time I go see them.
Shortbread's what Nelson said.
Yeah, shortbread, and that's kind of what it tastes like. Oh my goodness.
So like our oldest Liberian daughter, they have like 8 Adirondack chairs. Am I saying that right?
Adirondack, yeah.
All around in this little like gazebo area for sitting, and like she just like laid her head on my chest because she knew we were getting close to leaving. It just killed me, broke my heart. Like she was just crying, and I'm like, I looked at Rachel, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
And it's like this sad whimper. It's not like she's like crying and she's gonna like
just like
get
a
to this
slow
intensity
tear.
point where she calms down and moves on. It's just like this slow whimper thing. Like it's just sadness. It's just grief.
Yeah.
And some of it I think is that she's sad because we're leaving and not taking her with us. And then there's 4 children actually that have been able to leave with their families, thought they were saying goodbye forever, and then had to return and stay longer. And 3 of them are still there. One of them left today. She's going to go back tomorrow, I think, and say her final goodbyes. But that's hard for these kids to understand. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know what they're thinking because, I mean, although they speak a version of English, it's not first of all, their language development is very like Lord of the Flies kid appropriate only. Like they don't like some of the younger kids. I feel like it's almost like a twin talk. Like it's their own language. It's not like a tribal language. It's not English. It's not even like Liberian English or Bassa as they call it. It's like
it's very fast.
Just their gestures to each. It reminds me of our oldest 2 kids are 7 months apart in age, and when the youngest, and then we had a third one like 18 months after the youngest. So we had 3 kids in a 3-year time span. But our oldest 2 had a twin talk for a long time, and then they finally like evolved into a different speech. But that's how these kids talk, like all of them. It's like they talk in this like short, it's more gestures, and they communicate like this, just a little tribe that's against us sometimes, I feel like. But they console each other too, but there's just not a lot of meaningful words there. So it's not, her language development is delayed. Because and it's not like the nannies are great, they're doing a great job, but like there's 5 of them total, and they take turns. So there's usually 2 to 3 there at the same time. Mm-hmm. There are 38 kids, 37 now. Yeah. And they're everywhere. So, I mean, language development, they're teaching each other. So if you kind of know, like if you've been through the twin talk thing where you have twins that are developing at the same time, they have their own language with each other. So they're delayed in their speech and their normal English development because they can talk to each other. And they don't really need your words to talk to you because they can talk to them. So they have this thing going that's, I don't know. So we don't know what she's thinking. We don't know why she's sad. We just know that she's sad.
And I'm very thankful to the Bruces older Liberian daughter. She kind of hovered around and was like going to be there to
she's
like
in
be
that like
support
tween
staff.
age.
And it was like I could just feel her like going to take over. Like when we left, if she was sad, or when we left and she gets sadder. It was really sweet that she was.
Yeah, and she gets sad herself about her own things, but it seems like when her parents don't come visit, she has a different mood, and I'm sure our kids are the same. It's just kind of normal day, but like there's a little more emotional charge when her parents are there. And she was like support staff, kind of lingering, you know. And the nannies will do that too, but it was kind of funny. So the younger kids, so the kids that are like 6 and under, it's like they have this category of 6 and under and like 7 and older. You know, it's like that's their demarcation. So 6 and under were getting like showers, which is basically like probably more like a bucket bath, like they're cleaning them off, but they kind of like line them up like an assembly line. And so some of the kids will like strip down naked waiting their turn, and they'll act out and they'll run outside. And so you'll see like these 5 and 6-year-old little boys just running around stark naked, and they're trying to be funny. And then of course the older kids are trying to like push them back, like herd them back inside. It just depends on which kid's watching, you know. Some of the older girls that are like tween age, like 10, 11, 12, they'll kind of herd them back in. The older boys completely ignore them, which I found encouraging. They just don't even care. They're like, they're going to do something else. But there's just, so Jeremy was kind of getting frustrated about that because this kid was like joking around, running outside naked, just being silly. Like this is like, and so this is the thing I'm telling you, like these 5 and 6-year-old little boys are like toddler age because they haven't had, that's just where they are. I mean, they're not being inappropriate for their age, really. They're just being little boys that want to run around naked waiting for bath time. Now, if they had parents, they wouldn't be allowed to do this. But now, would they try to run around naked at their house? Absolutely. This is what 5 and 6 and 7, this is what they do. They always want to run around naked, and they're normal. But it's just like in this setting, I'm like sad to see them in this developmental phase of like kind of that preschool age of like realizing that it matters if they're naked and trying to be funny about it. And they need to be in a family for that. They were driving Jeremy nuts though. I finally got out of my chair because we were outside. So they were just, it was like they were popping out and popping back in. I kind of went up there and was like, kind of policed them to stay in their line to get their shower. When I realized it's like 2 or 3 kids kind of waiting for the next turn. So I don't know. It was just one of those things. Like,
yeah. So tomorrow we're all going to go to the MOG. Everybody.
How mad were you at the kids running around?
I was mad, but I mean, I was like, I'm sitting here with this sad
grieving
kid,
7-year-old,
and I'm like, then that's going on, and it's like, I wish I could just like ignore that.
And then like our American kids are like bouncing off the walls. Can we have a snack? We're done playing our game. It's time to go.
I'm like, man, I need a quiet
read the
rocking
room.
chair.
Yeah.
I need a quiet rocking chair now.
And you can't have it.
You can't have it.
Because the governments are, still wrapping up their erroneous investigations.
Yes. MOG.
Well, what about the phone call? So Nelson got a phone call from one of the ladies at the Ministry of Gender, one of the staff members there that's in one of the higher ups, I guess. She was calling him to check on us.
Yes.
He introduced Jeremy to some people there, and we found that very encouraging that she is now concerned about us, not just our kids, but us as people. I think you really introduced the humanity of the adoptive parents to the MOG.
Yeah.
You and Sam have done a good job at that.
I mean, the hope and the prayer is that they're going to wrap this investigation up maybe tomorrow.
They said that so many times, though.
No, that was just like the meeting with the police. So obviously
I feel like we've
kind of
been
strung
hanging
along
on.
a lot, but we hang on every word because we're just so optimistic that's going to get done, and then we can get court dates. So,
well, once the investigation's done and our reports are signed, which is literally like all could happen the same day.
But the word is the
It's
MOG
easy.
themselves said we need to rush this along, get this done.
Yeah, which is good because we haven't seen that from them.
No, instead of like waiting another 15 days, it's like let's do this now. So
yeah,
that would be great. So maybe we'll have better news tomorrow's video.
And I feel like I go through these waves when I'm sitting at that orphanage. There's a part of me that's like, I'm going to really miss being able to be there because we go about every other day. So I'm really going to miss being able to be there with them. And these kids, especially the kids that are, in this limbo of waiting for a family to pick them, or maybe their family has picked them, but they're waiting to go. And I just hope none of those families that are matched give up. I worry about them giving up. Please don't give up. But then I go through these waves of like being really happy because it's like a sacred ground thing. This is sacred ground that these kids are on. They're running around, laughing. But one day they'll be adults. Like one of the adoptive parents had the foresight to ask one of the nannies to do a video message to their son, who's now like 3 or 4, their Liberian that they adopted, to do a video for him to show him when he's 20 or 25 or something.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was really like, what was her message? And it was like, I mean, it makes me tearful just thinking about what it might say. You know, it's just because they do have a connection with our kids. And it's not like a 6 months to a year and a half like it should be. It's like 3, 4, 5 years. The little girl that's going home this week, that's kind of doing her victory lap.
That's what, tomorrow we're all going to go be there at the MOG next to them and be supportive and kind of.
But I'm not. I'm going to be here with our other squirrels.
We're going to walk in together.
Jeremy's going to go in.
This is going to be in my, what can I say, my moment. This is where I handcuff myself.
Well, and we lay down on the ground and start crying.
Yeah.
We've joked a lot about if that would make
protest.
Liberian news, if like Jeremy, this like big burly American with
Some
his
crazy
hairy arms,
honky American made the news.
some white dude's laying on the ground crying in the emoji and like handcuffed himself to the bathroom stall or something, and just like
I need
his
a cool
feet are hanging
chant.
out.
Like,
I mean,
let my people go or
yeah.
something. Set my
It's
kids
just-
free.
And I mean, Friday is International Women's Day, and so like Noonday Collection, they are releasing a new product for that day, and they always do, and always sells out really quickly, and they do a give back, so they're giving money for every item sold that's on that give back. I can't tell you what it is, but it's usually something good. Last year it was bags, but this year it's to help with the violence in Peru against women. So 1 in 3 women will be the victim of physical or sexual violence. 1 in 3 is a lot. Women's earning potential based on head-to-head with their male counterparts doing the exact same job is still 23% less salary on average to do the exact same job no matter what it is. So there's a lot of like International Women's Day was started in 1911. So I noticed on Facebook today that the Ministry of Gender, of Children and Families here in Liberia has not participated in International Women's Day before, but this new person that's in charge, Beme Horace Kali, she is initiating it. She wants everyone to wear white. So the colors for International Women's Day have always been green, purple, and white. And most of the time people will pick all of those colors to represent, but she wants all the Liberian women to wear white. Everyone that's in support of International Women's Day, equality for women, justice for women, decrease in domestic violence, and increase in fair wages. I mean, for goodness sakes, like Jeremy, I mean, if Jeremy and I did the same job and I made 23% less than him and he knew it, whether I was his wife or not, he would be like, that's not fair. I can't think of one male colleague that would look at me and be like, oh, I make, but it's true. Like, it is true.
Here.
That everywhere, across the world, everywhere, not just here. Here, people don't even have wages. But across the world, 23% less. And, like, it's ludicrous. Like, you can't, you know, when you look at it on paper, you're like, oh. And, I mean, the career that I have chosen is, like, probably has more equality, but, like, who's going to open those books and look and tell me for sure? Like, I mean, the statistics don't lie on it. People do these surveys on their salary all the time. So, but Liberia is standing in this fight now, like in this solidarity that all of us believe that women should be treated equally. Here, the culture is that women are not considered, I mean, by law, they're considered equal as men, but the culture does not represent that. That's why Jeremy's going to the Ministry of Gender and I'm staying home. Because one of us has to go and one of us has to stay. And Jeremy and I are very equal in our marriage, equal in our responsibilities. Like we kind of divide and conquer on most things. And it doesn't have to be traditional roles for us. But I'm not going to go because I know that his strength of argument in this paternal, like patriarchal culture is stronger than mine. So I'm not going to go.
I wish I had a cool white shirt to wear. You said it's Friday though, right? Friday?
It's Friday.
I know I got this one black collared shirt though.
But I'm just glad to see Liberia stepping into that socioeconomic world and speaking and taking a day. They're doing a parade here. They're doing a big parade on Friday.
Traffic's gonna
They're
be
starting
awful.
it at 9:00 in the Congo town, and they're going down, and then they're doing these free health screening things. Like they're doing something.
Nice.
This is a big long post. I was like, way to go! I want to support this. I brought my white linen tunic, my noonday tunic that you like, my white shirt.
Nice.
I'm gonna wear it all day and make sure it's clean. I'll have to hand wash it myself. But like, so we see these things, but it's just highs and lows, you know, like this morning we wake up and we're like, oh, we're so happy for Hannah, the unicorn, the kid that gets adopted. It's literally paving the way. And then, then we watch like our oldest daughter that's waiting in an orphanage for no substantial reason that's evident to anybody that I've talked to. And we have to they're with her on a porch in the heat with the other kids running around and like we can't prioritize her the way we want to, and we can't connect with her the way we want to. It's this huge barrier between us and her, and it's not fair. It's good that she will share her emotions that she has. She's not walled off. You know, she's ready, like she's grieving in front of us, which is good. But like,
you know, I mean, all I can do is just hug on her and tell her that I love her and that it's gonna work out. She's gonna be okay.
I mean, Jeremy's just looking at me like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you're doing it. Like, there's nothing else you could do today.
And some days she's smiling and so happy, even when we leave, you know.
And she smiled today too, but like, and I think her younger sister kind of follows her lead. Her younger sister's a lot more guarded. She's busier, you know, she's just going and doing. She's kind of running the show a little bit. Like, I'm like she doesn't like, and this is the other thing, is she doesn't verbally boss, and our younger one, she doesn't verbally boss around any of the other kids at all. Like, I don't hear her. Sometimes she does. But her gestures, they do what you want them to do. I mean, she uses her powers for good, but like when she's if I bring cookies every day, I bring markers almost every time I go. I brought balloons. I brought all these. I'm just trying anything, so because I want them, when they see Americans pull up, I want them to think of us as happy people, safe people, and they're part of their future. I don't want them to fear us. I want them to learn how to talk to us. You know, I want them to know, the ones of them that I know their parents well, that are adopting them in the States, I want to advocate for their parents and be like, they're coming. It's not their fault they're not here. Like, they're just, I mean, they're not, like, they want to be here and they'll be here soon. But it's these just emotional, like, roller coaster does not give, it's like an emotional hurricane, on and on. And then I see these other kids that are unmatched, and I'm like, oh, I just want this police investigation to lift so that Jimbo can match more people, so that we can know for sure that these kids have families. And it's maddening to me because I can't do anything. And in the meantime, I watch our American kids. They warmed up pretty quick. They're pretty friendly kids. And our kids, our kids don't really understand racism. They understand that it's bad. They understand what it is, but they're kind of above it because they're different, like, they look different, Some of them are one color, some are another color. We've had kids in between. And they don't get it. Like, they think it's stupid, racism. And just to watch them jump in with these kids that are such different, like, backgrounds than them. These kids, who knows what these kids have been through. And my kids just fit. I mean, they're just all playing together and they're all having a great time. And I think of them as like what if they're the embassy leaders and they're the MOG leaders in 20 years, like, that met that day, like our kids met, and they work at the U.S. Embassy, and these children, should they not get adopted, or maybe they do get adopted, maybe they just come to give back to Liberia. I would love to see the teamwork that could happen if my children are in that U.S. ambassador office and these older children that may age out of this orphanage if nobody picks them soon are at the MOG, and they work together on adoption cases, and they go have dinner and they socialize together and they become friends. So if you have other kids, I would encourage you to do some extra fundraising and bring them with you to meet these kids. Because it's just ridiculous lack of teamwork that makes every day go by that our kids can't just live here. Just ridiculous. Racist, prejudiced, lack of teamwork. And complete insensitivity to the important days of childhood. And it just... If my kids can go play in the dirt with kids from any other different socioeconomic background, any different color of skin, anything that they've been through, no matter how different it is, if they can figure out a way to play with rocks in the dirt together for 2 hours, 3 days in a row, then surely my peers sitting behind the desk at the Ministry of Gender, my age peers, my generational peers in the U.S. Ambassador's office can learn to communicate expeditiously to find these kids some safety. Because there will be children that age out of that orphanage that do not have families because they missed the window, because everybody sitting in those offices have been dragging their feet. And that's on you. And I'm done with it. I'm over it. The problem is that our generation has not gotten past their racism and their prejudices that we inherited from our parents' generation. And it's criminal. And if you're sitting in America and you're watching my YouTube video, you've not contacted any of your Congress, haven't written any letters or emails, you haven't shared any of our videos or talked to any of your friends and families about any of this stuff, and you just watched and let it go, I'm not impressed. You need to do more. This is our responsibility as American adults to make this better for these kids. And it's exhausting. Like, it's exhausting. It's a good thing that little Hannah was here to cheer me up. And now she's going back to the orphanage tomorrow with like hair that I did instead of hair that her nannies did, and I hope it doesn't offend them and hope they're not mad. Because she needed hair. Her hair fell out. Her hairdo came down in the swimming pool, and I'm like, okay.
You got this.
Hopefully nobody's feelings will be hurt. Hopefully they won't take it down and redo it. Maybe they will. I don't know.
No, I like what you said.
Which part? You're going to give the man version of everything that I just said because it was a lot.
See this? Get involved. Call and yell at somebody.
I mean, evil prevails when good men do nothing. We know that for sure.
Yes.
That's
Not long for the day when we're busy with all 5 of our kids under the same roof. That sounds good.
That was easy. I'm bored.
I'm certainly not bored. I have good cortisol levels going up and down with stress.
I just burped.
Nice.
Ephesians 6:12-18. So, for we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor so that you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you'll still be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news so that you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet. Take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Pray in the Spirit in all times and on every occasion, and stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere.
If you know anybody too that any news outlet or whatever that can take up a story, we tried. Nobody really seems interested, so send them our way. Got a good news story for everybody. What are you looking for now?
I think I just...
Nope.
You're good.
The power went out again. Dun, dun, dun. I'll be back.
So we gotta wait for the Jenny guy to go turn on the there we go. So the good news about the Tropicana, if you guys are like trying to pick where to stay, we have a backup generator. And the backup generator makes a huge difference. Again, what I'm looking for, I just want to say that we didn't think this would be easy. We don't think it's easy now. I think what I've learned the most in our idea to pursue adding children to our house while they're still kids, need a family, need their childhood preserved. What we've learned is there's a lot of good people out there that agree with us. But those good people, and we were the same before we really got into this process, but those good people do nothing to preserve the laws that protect adoption, and do nothing to uphold the laws that protect these children and their orphans. If you're a society that doesn't take care of your young, whether it's here or in other countries, we're going to go to war over it. You can't not care for your young and expect your life to be good. So as Americans, we do have, one of the most powerful economies in the world, if not the most powerful economy in the world. Last time I looked it up. Our ability to be good examples, our ability to assist, our ability to carry out things is written in our laws. But if we ignore our laws ourselves, we don't demand that they're upheld, then we will become what we were before. So it's not just our kids that you're fighting for, it's your own economic stability. Because these vulnerable countries, like Liberia and some of these other countries, Haiti, some of these countries that are so vulnerable, but they have so much potential. Someone, good or evil, will assist them and they will follow their assistance. So, we need to do the right thing. But I think I have never been more disappointed in the lack of the Constitution being honored for me as I stand in Liberia today. That my own country, what the principles that our country is built on, has faded into something else. And as those of us that are like 25 to 60 years old right now and beyond, but 25 to 60 years old, if we don't take back the things that built our country's freedoms to begin with, we will lose it. If we don't protect the freedoms that we have to not just adopt internationally, but a lot of things, if we don't hold on to those, we will lose it. And if we lose it, we'll have to get it back. And that will unify us if nothing else does. But I would just, orphans are something everyone can agree is a bad thing, and adoption is something almost everyone agrees is a good thing. So I can't say it enough. We need more help. We just need more help. We're not doing anything illegal. This should not be this hard. And it's a lot of pressure, I think, on Jeremy and I to be the parent. There's other parents here, but to be the parents that have, Sam Bruce has been here as long as we have, a couple days longer actually, and he has advocated for all of our children in a very, very strong, confident, and peaceful way to every government official that will listen to him on either side of this fence. And that's been great. And Jeremy and I have been the adults that have gone and loved on the kids every day. And Sam has done that too, don't get me wrong. He goes and he loves on all the kids too, and he's there the days we aren't, and we're vice versa. But Jeremy and I's strength has been more just seeing the kids and giving them hope, and seeing the kids and giving them hope. And we need more parents here than just us. We do. We need more people because once Jeremy and I get through this process, if no one else is coming behind him doing the exact same thing, then the momentum that we've gained here, the tiny bit of momentum that we've gained here, will be lost. And it'll go back to where it was. And I don't know, it's a scary place to be. I feel like we're on an island a little bit. I feel like we got a lot of people that are supportive and encouraging of us, but we need more Americans in Liberia. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I really hope that with the new Liberian government that it'll get back to it'll be better than it is now.
But those people are new right now, and they're so easily influenced by so many things. And there's just like us and Sam that are here. The Davenports are leaving, but that's it.
Yeah.
Carrie's coming, but that's it. So I think Montana's coming. But if you've got a kid that you're matched with, they need you here. Not just, you can't sit back and wait for other people to finish this process. It's just not that easy anymore. You're gonna have to come here and advocate for your kids you're just gonna have to. And we don't even know if that's gonna work for us, so. We've been next in line. Our kids, the Bruce's kids and the Clark's kids, have been next in line for the last year and a half. And there's even one that's been pushed through before us, so. There's one case report signed before us that got pushed through, so. We should have been next. 16 months. 16, are we up to 17 months?
No, it's 16, I think.
We sent it in October.
Yeah.
$17 months. We're in March. Yeah. Okay. Well, we were doom and gloom.
Maybe it'll be better tomorrow.
I did ask Nelson how to get a Liberian driver's license, and there is a test, but if you know people in the office, you don't have to take it.
Makes you feel safe on the roads.
Like, if I wanted to get a Liberian driver's license, then they may not even make me take a test.
pay your fee.
Yeah, I just pay my fee.
Move
And
along.
it's what, $30, $40? It's like $30 or $40. $30 for like a regular license, and then $45 for the chauffeurs. And it's not annual; it's one time.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be, if we stay here long enough, I'm gonna be driving myself around.
Driving yourself in a KK.
I'm gonna get myself a KK. What would I name it?
B.
Bee? Why? Like a bumblebee. Queen bee. Queen bee. That's what I would be. I want to be.
Nice.
My KK's name's gonna be Queen bee.
What I've seen, I feel like
The names they put on the back are funny.
when we get our Liberian kids here, all 7 of us could probably fit in there for what I've seen.
I don't think no.
People are hanging on the back.
It's not like a boat capacity. It's like
It's pretty crazy.
the tires are small.
Safety first.
Okay.
So yeah, rock and roll.
It's the longest video yet. A lot of tears.
I wish there was a lot
Queen
of
bee
tears,
KK.
a lot of beers.
Coming at you.
Just kidding.
Queen bee KK coming at you.
We can make some extra money.
Bye, friends.
Bye.